Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! In the quiet solitude of a private chamber, a weary gaze met its reflection in the mirror's glimmer. The routine was a dance of blades and lotions, a never-ending strife to tame the unriving hair. With deft hands, Bo Henderson crafted a masterpiece of curls, framing their delicate features. The art of disguise was meticulously executed, a canvas of foundation concealing every hint of stubble, revealing eyes brimming with a story. Yet, nature's grasp lingered, betraying the illusion. "Fate be unkind," they murmured, witnessing the hasty return of stubble on arms, a daily reminder of their secret sanctuary. For half a decade, Bo found solace in the sanctuary of their dressing room, a sanctuary from the ordinary. At the cusp of their 30s, these stolen moments of metamorphosis were the heartbeat of tranquility in an otherwise mundane routine. Working remotely as a software developer meant freedom from office politics, but also isolation that fueled the desire to express this hidden self. The navy cardigan and floral blouse lay ready on the bed beside a knee-length skirt, an outfit worn countless times, but only inside these apartment walls. Bo slipped off the silk robe and started the tedious process of shaving, working methodically across chest, arms, and legs. An hour later, skin raw and several small cuts stinging, Bo examined the results. Better, but not good enough. By tomorrow afternoon, the stubble would return, dark and obvious against pale skin. There has to be a better way. The laptop screen glowed in the dim room as Bo searched permanent hair removal for the dozenth time. The results always proved daunting, expensive, time-consuming, and impossible to explain to friends or family. But tonight, something felt different. A new clinic had opened downtown, advertising discreet service and flexible scheduling. "Smooth solutions," Bo murmured, clicking through their website. A phone number glowed on the screen. "Consultations free and confidential." The phone felt heavy in hand. Heart pounding, Bo dialed before courage could fade. "Smooth Solutions. This is Terry speaking. How may I help you today?" Bo's voice caught. "I'm interested in laser hair removal." "Wonderful. We'd be happy to schedule a consultation. What areas were you thinking about treating?" A deep breath. "Chest, arms, and legs." "No problem at all. Many of our male clients come in for those areas. Swimmers, cyclists, and bodybuilders especially appreciate our services." The excuse appeared like a gift. "Yes, for swimming, I'm training." "Perfect. When would you like to come in? We have openings tomorrow afternoon or Friday morning." "Tomorrow at 4? Bo suggested, heart still racing. "You're all set. May I have your name for our records?" "Bo Henderson." "Great, Bo. We'll see you tomorrow at 4. Just bring a form of ID and wear loose clothing for comfort." The call ended, leaving Bo staring at the phone in disbelief. It had been so easy. Too easy. Sleep proved elusive that night, thoughts cycling between excitement and panic. The next day dragged until the afternoon appointment. Dressed in the most masculine outfit possible, jeans, a loose gray t-shirt, and a black jacket, Bo arrived at the clinic 15 minutes early. The reception area was modern and soothing, with soft lighting and comfortable seating. "Bo Henderson?" The receptionist smiled warmly. "Please fill out these forms, and Melissa will be with you shortly." The waiting room remained empty except for Bo, which provided small comfort. The forms asked standard medical questions, nothing that raised suspicion. 10 minutes later, a door opened. "Bo, I'm Melissa. Come on back." Melissa appeared to be in her 40s, with a professional demeanor and kind eyes. She led the way to a private consultation room. "So, you're interested in laser hair removal for swimming?" she asked, reviewing the forms. "Yes." Bo nodded too quickly. "For competitions, it helps with drag in the water." Melissa's expression remained neutral, but something in her eyes suggested understanding beyond what was being said. "Let me explain how the process works," she began. "Laser hair removal targets the pigment in the hair follicle. It works best on dark hair with light skin, which I can see you have. We recommend a series of 6 to 8 treatments, spaced about 4 to 6 weeks apart." She showed before and after photos of treatments, carefully selecting examples of male clients. Bo listened intently, asking questions about pain levels and effectiveness. "Would you like to see one of our treatment rooms?" Melissa offered. The treatment room was clinical but comfortable, with a padded table and sophisticated equipment. "For today's consultation, I can do a small test patch if you'd like, to see how your skin reacts to the laser," Melissa suggested. Bo hesitated. "How small?" "Just a square inch or so, perhaps on your forearm where the hair is visible but not too dense." "Okay." Melissa prepared the equipment while Bo rolled up a sleeve. The test patch took only seconds, feeling like a snap of a rubber band against the skin. "That's it," Melissa said. "Any redness should fade within a few hours. If you decide to proceed with treatment, we can schedule your first full session." There was a moment of silence before Bo spoke again. "How many swimmers do you get?" Melissa smiled gently. "We have clients from all walks of life, Bo. Our goal is to help everyone feel comfortable in their skin, whatever their reasons." The understanding in her voice broke something loose. "It's not really for swimming," Bo admitted quietly. "I know," Melissa replied simply. "And that's perfectly fine. We maintain complete confidentiality for all our clients." The drive home was a blur of emotions: relief, anxiety, hope. 2 days later, Bo called to schedule the first real treatment. On the day of the appointment, Bo arrived wearing loose clothing as recommended. Melissa greeted with the same professional warmth as before. "Today, we'll focus on the areas we discussed: chest, arms, and legs. The process will take about an hour and a half. You'll need to undress to your underwear, but we provide a gown for comfort and privacy." The treatment proved more uncomfortable than the test patch had suggested. A series of sharp stings that occasionally made Bo wince. Melissa worked efficiently, explaining each step and checking in regularly. "The hairs won't fall out immediately," she explained, while working on Bo's right arm. "Over the next 1 to 3 weeks, they'll shed gradually. You might notice some redness and swelling today, but it should subside by tomorrow." By the end of the session, Bo's skin felt warm and slightly irritated, but the prospect of reduced hair growth outweighed the discomfort. "Schedule your next appointment for 5 weeks from now," Melissa advised, "and call if you have any concerns or questions." The following weeks brought a revelation as hair began shedding. Patches of smooth skin emerged, particularly on the arms and lower legs. For the first time, Bo could wear sleeveless tops at home without immediate stubble shadowing the feminine presentation. For the second appointment, Bo arrived wearing less aggressively masculine clothing, a light blue button-up shirt and fitted jeans that could pass as unisex. Melissa noticed, but made no comment beyond a warm smile. The third session marked a turning point. The chest and arms had responded well to treatment, with significantly reduced hair growth. Bo arrived wearing a pastel pink top that unmistakably came from the women's section. paired with fitted jeans and delicate silver earrings. Melissa's smile widened. "You look lovely today, Beau." The simple acknowledgement brought unexpected tears. "Thank you. It's getting easier." "I'm glad. Now let's continue your progress." After the treatment, Melissa hesitated before speaking. Many of our clients find it helpful to have a name they prefer when they're expressing themselves this way. Is Beau the name you'd like me to use? Or is there another you prefer? The question had been considered many times in private moments. "Elise," came the soft reply. "I like Elise." "Elise is beautiful," Melissa nodded. "Would you prefer I use that name for your appointments?" "Yes, please." "And which pronouns would you prefer?" "She, her, when I'm dressed this way." "Noted, Elise. I'll update your file." By the 5th treatment session, the transformation was remarkable. Elise arrived in a modest maroon sweater and black slacks, hair grown longer and styled softly around her face. The masculine Beau seemed increasingly distant, a costume worn only when absolutely necessary. "The results are excellent," Melissa observed during the treatment. "How are you feeling about the changes?" "Free," Elise answered without hesitation. "I feel like I can breathe." "I notice you've grown out your hair," Melissa commented, working the laser over increasingly smoother skin. "Yes, I'm letting my natural brown hair grow. It feels more authentic than the wigs I used to wear." The 6th and final scheduled treatment arrived on a warm spring day. Elise wore a cream-colored blouse and navy skirt, minimal jewelry, and light makeup. The person who had first entered the clinic months earlier seemed to belong to another lifetime. "This is our last scheduled session," Melissa noted as they finished. "But many clients come in for maintenance treatments every 6 months or so." "I'll definitely be back." Elise smiled. "You've changed my life." "You changed your life," Melissa corrected gently. "I just helped with one part of the journey." The following weekend marked a milestone. After months of transition, of gradually expanding the boundaries of where and when Elise could exist, it was time for the ultimate test, a public outing in full feminine presentation. Standing before the mirror, Elise smoothed the yellow sundress over her hips. The dress had hung in the closet for months, tags still attached, waiting for this moment. Her brown hair fell in soft waves past her shoulders, styled the night before. Makeup applied with practiced hands emphasized her eyes and softened her features. Most importantly, her skin glowed smooth and hairless, matching her feminine presentation perfectly. No stubble shadowed her arms or legs. No need to hide behind cardigans or pants on this warm day. "Today," she whispered to her reflection. "Today, I walk in the sun." The plan was simple, but terrifying. Lunch at a cafe downtown, perhaps some window shopping afterward. Normal activities that women did every day without a second thought. Stepping outside her apartment building felt like crossing a threshold into another world. Sunlight warmed her bare shoulders. A slight breeze stirred her skirt around her knees. For a moment, she froze, waiting for pointing fingers or mocking laughter. None came. The first few blocks passed in a haze of hyper-awareness. Each passing person seemed a potential threat, each car that slowed a possible confrontation. But gradually, the ordinary indifference of the city worked its magic. People passed without a second glance, occupied with their own concerns. The cafe she'd chosen sat on a quiet corner with outdoor seating. Heart pounding, she approached the hostess. "Table for one, please. Outside, if possible." "Of course," the young woman smiled. Right this way. Being seated, ordering a salad and iced tea, these mundane actions took on profound significance. The waiter addressed her as "ma'am" without hesitation. No one stared, no one questioned. Halfway through her meal, Elise realized she had been holding her breath metaphorically for years. Only now, sitting in sunlight in her yellow dress, was she finally exhaling. A text message chimed on her phone. Melissa. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful day. Thinking of you. Elise smiled and sent back a quick selfie showing her at the cafe table, sunglasses perched on her head, happiness evident in her expression. After lunch, newfound confidence propelled her toward the small shops lining the adjacent streets. In a boutique selling scarves and jewelry, the salesperson complimented her dress and helped her select a delicate silver bracelet to commemorate the day. "This matches your style perfectly," the woman said, fastening it around Elise's wrist. "Your style." The phrase echoed as Elise continued her afternoon. Not a costume, not a disguise, her style, her authentic self. The sun was beginning to lower when she finally turned toward home, feet tired, but spirit soaring. The day had unfolded without incident. Each ordinary interaction, an extraordinary victory. Back in her apartment, Elise kicked off her sandals and sank onto the sofa, still wearing her yellow sundress. She touched the new bracelet on her wrist, a tangible reminder that she had done it, stepped into the world as herself, and found it accepting, or at least indifferent. Her phone buzzed with another message from Melissa. "How was your day?" "Life-changing," Elise replied simply. Over the coming weeks, Elise's world expanded exponentially. The success of that first outing led to others: grocery shopping, a movie, an afternoon at the public library. Each venture strengthened her confidence and reinforced what the mirror had already told her. She passed convincingly as the woman she knew herself to be. Her work as a software developer continued remotely, her clients unaware of the changes. Video calls were still conducted as Beau, a performance that grew increasingly difficult to maintain. The discord between her emerging life as Elise and the professional persona of Beau created mounting tension. 3 months after her final laser treatment, Elise made another appointment, not for hair removal, but for guidance. "I don't know how to reconcile these two lives anymore," she explained to Melissa over coffee in the clinic's break room. "Being Beau feels like putting on a costume now, but I'm afraid of losing my clients if I transition professionally." Melissa considered the question carefully. "It's a personal decision with no single right answer. Some people maintain separate identities for different contexts. Others find that division too painful and choose to transition fully in all aspects of life." "What would you do?" Elise asked. "I'd consider a gradual approach," Melissa suggested. "Perhaps start by softening Beau's appearance slightly, growing out your hair, which you've already done, perhaps more unisex clothing on video calls. Test the waters with a few trusted clients." The advice resonated. That evening, Elise created a timeline for professional transition. The first step would be updating her professional wardrobe to more androgynous styles while maintaining the name Beau for business communications. If that went smoothly, she would gradually introduce more feminine elements until the distinction between Beau and Elise blurred and eventually disappeared. The plan began the following Monday. For a video call with a long-term client, she wore a simple navy button-up that could be read as either masculine or feminine, with her brown hair pulled back neatly. The client made no comment about the slight changes in appearance, focusing entirely on the project details. Encouraged, Elise continued this careful balancing act for several weeks. Each call included subtly more feminine elements, a different hairstyle, lighter colors, minimal makeup that enhanced without announcing itself. Some clients noticed, others didn't. One commented on her new look, but didn't press when she simply thanked him and moved on with the business discussion. An older client asked directly if she'd done something different with her hair, to which she confirmed she was growing it out. The email came on a Tuesday morning from her most significant client, a financial services company she'd worked with for 3 years. "Bo, we should discuss the direction of the project. Can we schedule a call?" Anxiety flared immediately. Had they noticed the changes? Were they uncomfortable? Was she about to lose her largest source of income? The call was set for Thursday afternoon. Elise agonized over how to present herself. Should she revert to Bo's appearance completely? Maintain her current middle ground? Finally, she decided on honesty. Not complete disclosure, but no more hiding either. When Thursday arrived, she wore a simple cream blouse with a subtle pattern, her brown hair loose around her shoulders, and light makeup. Professional, but authentically herself. The client, Richard Harmon, appeared on screen looking much as he always did. Suit jacket, tie slightly askew, reading glasses perched on his nose. "Bo, good to see you. Thanks for making time." His expression revealed nothing unusual. "Always happy to talk, Richard. What's on your mind regarding the project?" "Actually, before we get to that," Richard adjusted his glasses. "I hope you don't mind my asking, but I've noticed some changes in your appearance over recent calls." The moment had arrived sooner than expected. Elise took a deep breath. "Yes, I've been making some personal changes." Richard nodded. "I thought so. Listen, I don't mean to pry into your personal life, but I wanted to say something." He paused, and Elise braced herself. "Our company has been working hard on inclusive policies, and I want to make sure you know that whoever you are, however you identify, your work is what matters to us." The tension drained from her shoulders. "Thank you, Richard. That means a lot. Do you have a different name you prefer? Or pronouns?" The question, asked with such matter-of-fact kindness, brought unexpected emotion. "Elise," she managed, "and she/her pronouns." Richard nodded again, making a note. "Elise it is. Now, about this project timeline." The call continued as if nothing momentous had occurred, though for Elise, the world had shifted once again. By the time they hung up, she felt lighter than she had in months. That evening, she made a decision. It was time to eliminate the last divisions between her compartmentalized lives. She drafted an email to all her clients, explaining briefly that she was transitioning and would now be working under the name Elise Henderson, with all other aspects of their business relationship remaining unchanged. Responses trickled in over the next few days. Most were supportive, some were merely acknowledging, and only one client, a small company she'd done minimal work for, indicated they would not be continuing their relationship. The loss stung, but the overwhelming relief of integration outweighed it completely. No more switching pronouns, no more maintaining separate email accounts, no more adjusting her appearance for different contexts. Elise could simply be Elise. 6 months after her final laser treatment, Elise scheduled a maintenance appointment with Melissa. The clinic had become a sanctuary of sorts, the place where her transformation had begun. Melissa greeted her with a hug. "You're glowing! The yellow dress is back, I see." Elise twirled, the sundress flaring slightly. "It's my victory dress. I wear it for milestones." "And what are we celebrating today?" "Complete integration." Elise smiled. "I'm fully out to all my clients now, living as myself full-time." "That's wonderful." Melissa led her to the treatment room. "Any challenges?" "Some adjustments with clients, one loss, but otherwise, smoother than I feared." Elise settled on to the treatment table. I've been thinking about next steps. Oh? Melissa prepared the laser equipment. I've been on this journey mostly alone, apart from your support. I'm thinking it's time to expand my world socially as well. Melissa nodded approvingly. That sounds healthy. Any specific plans? I joined a local book club that meets at the library. First meeting is next week. Perfect low-pressure environment to meet new people. The maintenance treatment proceeded smoothly, Elise now an old hand at the process. Afterward, over tea in Melissa's office, they continued their conversation. What about family? Melissa asked, gently. You've never mentioned them. Elise's expression tightened slightly. My parents are traditional, religious. We've been distant for years, ever since I moved away for college. They know nothing about Elise. And friends from before? Scattered across the country. We keep in touch on social media, but I've hidden posts from most of them. Only one knows, my college roommate Maria. She's been supportive, but lives in Seattle now. Melissa considered this. Building a new support network is important, but consider that people can sometimes surprise you with their capacity for acceptance. Maybe someday, Elise acknowledged. But right now, I need to focus on moving forward, not looking back. The book club proved to be exactly the right step. Meeting in the library's community room, the group of 8 women ranged in age from late 20s to 70s, united by their love of fiction and thoughtful discussion. Elise introduced herself simply as a software developer new to the group, offering no history beyond her current life. To her delight, she was accepted immediately. Carrie, the group coordinator, made a point of drawing her into discussions. Denise, a retired English teacher, appreciated her analytical approach to the texts. By the 3rd monthly meeting, Elise found herself invited to coffee afterward with several members. We usually grab a bite at the cafe down the street, Carrie explained as they gathered their books. Would you like to join us? These casual social interactions, once unimaginable, now unfolded naturally. Conversations ranged from books to current events, from travel dreams to workplace frustrations. Elise shared carefully edited versions of her life, focusing on present experiences rather than her past. Do you have family in the area? Denise asked during one such gathering. No, they're out of state, Elise replied truthfully. We're not particularly close. Family can be complicated, Denise nodded, not pressing further. That's why found family matters so much. The concept resonated deeply. Found family, people who chose you, accepted you as you presented yourself, without the weight of history or expectation. Summer turned to autumn, and Elise's world continued expanding. The book club led to other connections, a hiking group that explored local trails on weekends, a cooking class where she discovered a talent for pastry. Her apartment filled with books borrowed and recommended by new friends, recipes tried and perfected, photos of group outings where she stood smiling in colorful dresses or practical hiking gear, always authentically herself. Work thrived as well. Freed from the energy-draining compartmentalization of before, Elise found new creativity in her coding projects. Several clients commented on her improved responsiveness and innovative solutions. 1 year after her first tentative steps out in public as Elise, she hosted a small dinner party in her apartment, something the isolated Beau would never have contemplated. Carrie and Denise from the book club came, along with Monica from the hiking group, and Taylor from her cooking class. Looking around at these women chatting in her living room, eating the meal she had prepared, Elise felt a completeness that had eluded her all her life. This was what integration meant. Not just between Beau and Elise, but between her inner self and her outer world. The evening flowed with conversation and laughter. As her guests prepared to leave, Denise hugged her warmly. "Thank you for letting us into your life, Elise. It means a lot." The simple statement touched her deeply. "Thank you for accepting me into yours." After everyone had gone, Elise stood at her apartment window, looking out at the city lights. The yellow sundress hung in her closet now, a cherished memento but no longer needed as a symbol of victory. Every day was a victory now. Every ordinary, unremarkable day lived as herself. Her phone chimed with a message. She expected a thank you text from one of her dinner guests, but instead saw a name that made her breath catch. Mom. The message was brief. "Your cousin Sam saw a photo of you on social media. We need to talk. Please call when you can." The ground seemed to shift beneath her. All the careful compartmentalization of her old and new lives collapsed in an instant. Someone had connected past and present, her cousin recognizing her despite the changes, perhaps from a group photo posted by one of her new friends. For a long moment, Elise stood frozen, phone in hand. The temptation to ignore the message, to continue building her new life without looking back, felt overwhelming. Yet something had shifted in her during this year of transformation. The woman who had walked fearlessly into the sunshine in a yellow dress was not someone who ran from difficult conversations. Taking a deep breath, she opened her contacts and found her mother's number. The phone rang 3 times before a familiar voice answered. "Hello?" "Hi, Mom," Elise said softly. "It's me. We should talk." The conversation that followed was difficult, filled with confusion, hurt, and halting explanations. Her mother cried. Elise held firm, explaining not justifying, sharing not defending. When they finally hung up an hour later, nothing was resolved, but everything was acknowledged. Reality had replaced secrets. The next morning, Elise called Melissa. "My family knows," she said when her friend answered. "My cousin saw a photo online and recognized me." "How did they take it?" "Better than I feared, worse than I hoped." Elise sighed. "But it's out now. No more hiding." "Are you okay?" Elise considered the question carefully. "Yes, I think I am. A year ago, this would have devastated me. Now it feels like just another step forward." "That's growth," Melissa observed. "What happens next?" "They want to visit, to see me in person." I said yes. "Brave." "Necessary," Elise corrected. "I can't be partly authentic anymore. It's all or nothing now." The visit was scheduled for the following month. In preparation, Elise redecorated her guest room, updated her wardrobe with a few new pieces, and most importantly, strengthened her resolve. Whatever happened with her family, she would remain Elise, the woman she had always been inside, now fully realized in the world. 2 weeks before the scheduled visit, another message appeared, this one from her father, the first direct communication from him since the revelation. "We've canceled our flights. Your mother and I need more time. I'm sorry." The disappointment stung sharply but briefly. In its wake came a strange relief. The confrontation was postponed, yes, but she had been ready for it. That knowledge itself was a victory. That evening, Elise took out the yellow sundress from her closet. It had been a year since she first wore it in public, a year of transformation far beyond the physical changes that had started her journey. Holding it against herself, she studied her reflection in the mirror. "Hello, Elise," she whispered to herself. "You made it." The dress went back into the closet, no longer a goal or symbol, but simply one outfit among many, belonging to a woman who no longer needed to prove herself to the world or herself. The next day dawned clear and bright. Elise dressed in a light blue dress with a sweater against the morning chill, her brown hair pulled back with a simple clip. The woman in the mirror smiled back at her, not Beau pretending, not Elise emerging, but simply herself, integrated and whole. Outside, the city waited with all its ordinary wonders. The coffee shop where the barista knew her order, the park where the hiking group gathered on Saturdays, the bookstore where she often browsed before book club meetings. A world that had once seemed threatening now felt like home. Elise stepped outside, lifted her face to the sun, and moved forward into her continuing life. Smooth skin matching her feminine presentation perfectly, inside matching outside, past connected to present. The journey wasn't over. It never would be. But now she walked it as herself, completely and without apology.
Thanks for watching, my girlies! Be sure to check out Patreon for more!